Well, hello, everybody, and we love you. Welcome back to another episode of United Earth Angels Series podcast. We are on episode 58 already. Who am I? I'm your host, Tobi Staples. I'm an Earth Angel. Yes, I am. I'm a self mastery mentor, and I'm here with my co host, Andi Jo, but she'll introduce herself. And what do I do? I am a self mastery mentor. What does that mean? I've got empowerment programs running, mastery, and then leadership program running mastery of the higher self. I have 21 books out there. I speak. And if, you know, I think that's enough to sum up what I do. Andi Jo, take it away from here as my co pilot. Introduce yourself to the world.
Hello, everybody. I'm Andi Jo. I am an Earth Angel, a mama to 11, and a wife to a veteran. And I am a healer and a light worker. And I have 4 books out. I have a song that is on all music platforms. It's called Thief. It's about dementia. I have experience with that because my stepdad and my grandma both had it. Um, and yeah, and I love y'all. Thank you for taking the time to watch us.
Cool, cool. And what are we getting into today? Wow. Guys, first and foremost, we want to talk about new chapters. Yeah, today's episode is all about new chapters. Because hey, we all have new chapters in life and we have to embrace them. It's just like a book. What, you gonna stay stuck in the same chapter repetitively, reading the same one over and over and over again? No. So today we are going to empower you to keep on flipping those pages of the storybook of your life. And we're going to encourage you also to realize that every day is brand new and you got a blank page that you can create any kind of story in that new chapter of life. You can believe anything you want into existence. Of course you can. Andi, since you came up with the topic today about new chapters, I'll let you run with it.
All
What would
right,
you
I
like to
can do that.
discuss today?
Yes, ma'am, I can do that. Listen, when I'm reading a book, okay, if I do it in the living room with all the kids playing and all this, all that, I have distractions. And yes, I read the same sentence, sometimes the same whole paragraph, multiple times before it sticks. But if I go to the back porch and read it with the birds chirping, dogs playing, not minimal noise, I can focus on what I'm reading and I get through chapters easily. That being said, if you live life distracted and you don't focus on what you're doing and you focus on everybody else, you're going to be too distracted to even start the next page, let alone the next chapter. So life is like a book. As long as you focus on the goal, you will get to the next chapter. That's my thought about it.
And you know what? It's very correlative to life because that's why it's, what do you fill in the storybook of your life? Literally. And you can fill in that storybook with trauma, pain, suffering, self destruction, self mutilation by thought alone, or you can create yourself to have a brand new chapter where you relieve yourself of all of that. No matter what the previous chapters contained, there's always a build up to a great breakthrough. Well, it could be all leading up to the breakthrough of the best years of your life in your new chapter. So it's very relevant to how life works. And really, when we think about this, we're living life like a video game. So the parameters were pretty much set by what you believe and how you limit yourself. Well, you can create a new chapter where there is no restriction and no limitation and just of your highest potential of adventure and discovery and learning. You see, so I encourage every single one of you and I empower you all to flow and feel that love over worry and make sure that that next chapter of life is as empowering to you as it would be anybody looking in on your story of life. Because
Yes.
my previous chapters, oh boy, pain, suffering, trauma, neglect, abuse, people making me feel small all my life, not relevant, not, and look, I just had a planetary impact energetically. Like, that's a whole new chapter. That's not one that contains the trauma of my life. That's not one that contains anything else, but a thriving force of me rising from the ashes of it all. Doesn't matter what I lived before, it's who am I now? What did I take from all of those previous chapters to make this one the best one possible?
Yeah. And if you look at life, like, I don't know, Toby, if you've ever seen the books where you could choose your path in the book. But when I was a teenager and younger, they had the, if you choose this way, turn to this page. If you choose this way, turn to this page. Your life is your own book. You can flip through whatever pages you want, depending on your choices. You choose this life. You choose this reality. You choose how you see everything. Nobody around you should influence what you choose. If your heart is telling you, hey, choose this way, or hey, nope, back up, back up a step, you need to listen. It may take you a few steps to back up, but if your heart's still pulling you away, follow it. If your heart is just beating so fast, you're so excited, just your body's just pulling you toward something, that is what is meant for you. You can't ignore the fact of something that makes your heart feel so heavy that it feels like a lead weight because it's the wrong decision. I lived my life like that for a long time. And it's not comfortable at all. It hurts, literally, everything. But when you change your path, even if it's just a little bitty, like a fork in the road, take one fork instead of the other. Your heart will lighten. You will feel free. Your whole body will feel free because your heart is the center. Your heart pumps blood everywhere. Okay, when your heart is light, everything else is. It just depends on your choices. Sometimes there's more than two. Sometimes,
Actually, actually, I got to jump in there because I'm being called to mention to everybody that the heart is just not an organ that pumps blood. No, it's not. It's the seat of your soul, and it is the vortex of the magnetism that you can project and attract everything from. If you are tapped out of your heart, well, then you are tapped out of the fuel that makes you exist, which will make you tap out very soon. So I needed to jump in there and say that because boss said, yo, jump in there and make everybody know that they better be tapping into their heart space for whatever chapter they're in. Because if not, it's game over. Why? Because we are recalibrating in the earth and energy is everything. And your heart space is very relevant. So Andy bringing that up, Andy, you just triggered that in me and boss said, yo, swoop it. So I'll give you back the floor. But people, you need to understand that your heart is major in making everything that you desire come alive in your life. It is not, you guys are all living by belief systems, keep you in a box. Your heart knows it's the best GPS that you have for existence. So your heart space with the vortex of that and the energy field and the magnetism there, that's your truest magnet and your truest brain. So that's the space where you have to stay in. No matter what is ahead of you, no matter what person, place, thing, no matter circumstance, situation, scenario, doesn't matter. Your heart knows. And if you get out of that space distracted, that's when your head has to kick in and you're already in survival mode. The minute you got to go to your backup belief centers because you couldn't trust your initial response.
Yeah. That's why we have intuition. That's why we have instincts. A lot of people ignore them so long they turn themselves off. Like me, mine was turned off completely. Like, I was living in fear, shame, guilt, blame, all the lower frequencies. So I had to turn that switch back on so that I could realize that I'm the true abundance and I create my reality. It's you have if you want to thrive instead of survive, you have to listen to your instincts, to your heart, to your intuition. That's why we have it. We have intuition. We're born with it. We're born happy. We're born full of joy. We do stuff without thinking about it when we're babies until someone shoves that fear at us, shows the blame, shame, guilt at us. We're not born with that.
But they don't mean to. I'm going to
No,
jump in on that note too. And it's not about shaming our parents at all.
no.
It's about they didn't know better. They did what they did because they believed that was right for us. Don't ever think that your parents didn't want what was best for you, because they always do. Whether they're parenting you from fear or not, they don't realize that they're parenting from fear. They don't realize that they're manipulating your brain to be something you're not, or they wouldn't do it. So, there's no guilt or shame or anything when it comes to parenting or what anybody's lived. So I have to just jump in there and say that too, because honestly, they didn't know better.
Mm-mm.
But that's why it's so relevant for us to do better now that we know better.
Right. When you know better, you do better. Like when I have my kids, I was parenting from fear, from blame, shame, guilt, and everything because I didn't know better. But now that I do, I parent differently. My adult kids have said, "You're so easy on them poor little kids. Why?" I said, did you like it when I was hard on you? Did you like it when I, punished you the way I punished you? No, but we learned from it. I said, yeah, but they're learning too. They're learning gentler. They're learning to follow their heart, not to fear everything. They're learning. It's just, I don't have to teach that way. That's the way my mom taught me. That's the way her mom taught her, and so on and so on. It's a generational curse that I've broken. And I told him, I said, just follow my example, follow my lead. That's it's not that I love anybody more than the rest, and they know that. It's just that I found a better way. The new chapters in my life that I have written have led me to find a better way. And I knew nothing about it until I started talking to Tobi. But yeah, I parented from a unhealed place because nobody knew how to teach me to heal. I mean, yeah, there's therapists, there's doctors, there's medicine, which I take none now, realizing we don't need it, is the biggest part of healing, is realizing that we have it inside of us. We don't need the extra chemicals that medicine provides because those chemicals tear down everything else in your body. My mother's on like 25 pills a day. 25. And
That's what I'm grateful for. I have to say that my mother knows more homeopathic remedies than a walking book. My mother's like a walking book when it comes to that stuff. That's you know what? Keep going, Andy, but I'm grateful. That's one thing I'm grateful for. My mother is healing herself. She has. She's been ongoing. So I'm forever grateful that my mother is healing herself and she's vibrant. Like she's about to be 80 and she's looking great and doing great and can move better than the average 80-year-old. So listen, you know, So that I'm grateful for, but there's no comparison. But trust me, you just keep leading the example, and your mom will get on board too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she still thinks she can't live without it. I mean, but I keep telling her, Mama, you need to get up and move. It hurts to move. Yeah. Well, a body at rest stays at rest. Body in motion stays in motion. So, Mama, yeah, if you don't get up and move your energies, move your body, make your heart flow all through you, you're going to stay that way. And she's like, oh, the things that she has taught me when I was younger, things that her mother taught her and her father taught her, it's stuck. It's definitely stuck. I hope she learns how to heal herself without the medicines. I hope and trust that she does. But if she doesn't, I know the medicines are destroying her body.
Well, talking about that and seeing as we're talking about new chapters, some don't believe they have the right to a new chapter, that they've exhausted their time, they've exhausted their capacity to make a change, that their time is over, that it makes no sense to try to change now. But change happens with a simple choice. And you know what? It's when people don't believe they're worthy enough of that new chapter, they won't even attempt to create it.
Yeah.
You see, they believe their life story, they believe who they are as their experience, they believe they are their diagnoses. What they've done is they've adopted their diagnosis as a part of their self-identity. How many people say, I am sick, and force it into their body, believing that I
Yeah.
am anxious, I am this, I am that, I I need my meds. Whoa, you're the biggest chemical factory walking.
Right.
But it's if you're feeding those commands to your body, no matter what command it is, you're repeating patterns. But if it's not in alignment with who you truly are and the energy centers of your being that already provide you. Do you know every day when you wake up, you've got homeostasis, total balance and harmony floating through your being? You wake up with the safety and security to be you. You wake up with your own energy, pleasure to wake you up. And if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be breathing primarily. Your willpower center knows that it can do all for you in the body. Okay? Love is your heart center, and that's the seat of your soul. So you're powered by source love and soul power and your soul contract. So you have a reason to be here, no matter what anybody thinks, says, or does. Well, your energy knows the truth of itself, no matter what you invoke into it and no matter what you command into it. So you can produce sickness in self, but the truth of your energetic force never dies. So you could block yourself from it and make yourself entirely locked off from your fuel of existence. Or you can tap into it and turn it up on high and allow yourself to have instant healing, instant clarity, guidance, and you're tapped into your truest GPS so you know the next move because you don't have to think about it. You're guided to it through a feeling. What do I want more of? What is my heart saying yes to? Well, if you have the opportunity to create a new chapter, I suggest that you do, because every single day that you wake up is a new chapter, should you choose it to be. Because you wake up healed and whole, in harmony and balance, and you need this harmony of symphonics going through your system, playing a different vibe in every center to make an orchestrated harmony of wellness and balance and stability, and all possible with great force and least effort. So it's all a choice.
Yeah. It is all a choice. And I'm so glad I made the choice to listen to me, listen to my body, listen to my intuition and my instincts, listen to my higher self. She'll bring me to my highest potential. I'm on my way up, you know? No one can stop me. I'm already there. But
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you know what's crazy is because, you know, you did the 17 weeks to self mastery, and that activated your highest potential of your flow. But now being in a leadership and now really mastering your higher self, hey, I may as well get a live testimony. What did you think about the next level of mastery for yourself? Do you believe that that was imperative for your next step? What do you feel your life would have been without those two programs?
I wouldn't have really known myself. I didn't know myself. Like I was stuck in the beliefs that my mom was stuck in. My mom is stuck in. My grandma was stuck in. Every family member before them. You know, the the chains are busted now. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to be boxed in. I mean, yes, I have a roof over my head now, but do I feel boxed in? No. It's not a physical box. It's a spiritual box. It's a mental box. It's constraining, constricting. I'm not constricted. I will never again be constricted. I don't want my children to be constricted. I'm teaching them not to be. If I wouldn't have taken the classes, it would not have happened. We would have continued the generational curse of constricted surviving.
Yeah,
I'm no
that's
longer
what it is.
surviving, I'm thriving.
And you know what? There's great strength in survival. Everybody goes through that survival because it's an asset to you later because of the skills and experience you acquire. So, had it not been for the survival that leaked through and the silencing and the stigma and the all of the other things that leaked through, you know, you wouldn't be able to be the best you now because
Oh,
you
I
wouldn't
know.
have thrived for
I,
better.
I'm grateful for all those surviving, all the skills that I acquired while I was in survival mode. But I will never go back to it. I'm grateful for every day I woke up breathing, for every day I woke up learning, for every experience I went through. I'm grateful for all of that. And I
And
know I'm not going to ever do it again because I know how to thrive now. Why would I go back to survival mode?
yeah, for real. For real. You know, survival produces sickness. It's as simple as that. And we're made to heal and we're born with a harmony and balance within us. Well, that harmony and balance energetically never goes away. We just block ourselves away from it. And then our belief systems are so poisonous about our own self images and what we need to comply to that we often need to be pushed down to the deepest pain point for us to say, no, I can't carry this. This half of this stuff is not mine to carry. And, you know, a lot of people get to the end of their life and they look back on life once they've lost their mobility, once they're incontinent. So they don't go out, they don't go anywhere, they stay and they isolate. And in that isolation, they realized that they spent their life maybe not always in the way that they would have loved to do. So this is what makes the end of life very difficult for people sometimes because they find themselves wounded by life and they realize that they survived and then they regret what they did with their time in their life experience. Well, I encourage you all today to step out of that to make sure that when your last breath hits, you lived your life to the fullest. Every single day that you push past every single limitation or restriction ever coming at you. Why? Because remembering there's nothing good or bad. It's all learning, number one. Number two, we're in a video game that has just been rewritten for the highest potential of all beings. Number three, love yourself more than you can love anything because Source loves you that way. And we're all the same. We're all balls of love and joy. And then anything we attach after that is our own self doing. Well, I parented also from fear and from scarcity and from lack. Now, as a grandparent, I see that my adult children believe me to be somebody that I am not today. And that's okay. But I can't wrong them because they see me for who I was when I was still in survival. But that's okay. And over time, their vision and their view of me will change. Just like everybody else sees you for who they believe you to be. Well, you need to believe yourself to be somebody that you are instead of continuing to believe that you're somebody that you're not. Okay? And own that. Speak the truth of that. Okay? And you can't expect people to see you for who you are. You got to see you for who you are and project who you are to the world. They'll feel that. You don't have to prove yourself to be anybody. You just have to make sure that you wash away all of the fear, the guilt, the shame, the blame, the denial, the avoidance, and love yourself back to life on purpose. No matter what your story has been, you can create a new one. And we've got 2.5 minutes left on this episode. Andi, you want to take the floor and speak for a while, and I'll wrap it up to close up our episode?
I sure do. I just want to say that I trust that you will all choose to thrive. Survival is for lessons, for experiences, but when is enough enough? Only you can decide that. Only you can feel that pain enough to say, whoa, no, okay, I'm done. Enough lessons, enough with the experience. I know there's better. And then when you know better, you do better. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day, as I know I will.
Guys, I want to encourage you all, if you want to apply to speak at the Boot in the Ass Summit, we are actually, August 21st will be the Boot in the Ass Summit that I will be co-hosting with Michael Whitehouse. And that is the virtual, awesome, interactive event right there on the 21st. The links are in the comments should you want to apply to speak or register to come out and join us. Why is this one that you don't want to miss? Because this will be my last virtual summit. Yes. So this is why it's very relevant. So come one, come all. I would love to see you there, but my virtual speaking days shall be over because my plan is to hit the big stage and empower thousands at a time, not a handful. But that is what will be happening because I'm sure that people would love to love themselves back to life with the earth angels and with the source fuel to do that. So it's time to bring that to the stage everywhere. Yes, live. So that will be my thing after giving up my virtual speaking. It will be live events. Yes. Empowerment events, activation events, real life healing, real time. Listen, if my energy can impact the energetic grid of this planet, well, then you need healing, you need an activation, you need anything, well, then the wisest thing would be to get into my program, book some time with me, or find me for a one-on-one. And if you need something virtually done, well, I can still do that virtually too. A computer screen doesn't stop me from entering your biofield. Never. Okay. And actually, Andi, you've seen me do that live, with one of the students.
Yes, I have. I have absolutely. The only thing you need to do is just give Tubby permission to come into your energy field. And there's a reason why it's called a miracle.
Yes.
Because what you wouldn't think is possible in your old belief system becomes possible. That's a miracle.
Very much so. Yep. Yeah. And I'm so grateful to do another episode with you, Andy. I love you and I'm grateful for you. And everybody watching us, we are grateful for your time, your energy, and that you are empowering you to flow and feel that love over worry. So, guys, if you want that self mastery, what is that? Energetic mastery, which will lead you to your higher self. Yes, perfect system to do so. Find it in the comments. But hey, we love you. See you next week. Bye.